So, and this is something that everybody's kind of brought up here too. Here's a thought. Why not end sexism together? And I completely agree with that. We should end sexism together. The question is, how do we do it? How does everybody do it? It's a societal movement that starts with understanding what the issues are. So one of the things I want to say here is it starts with becoming self-aware of distilling the stereotypes that keep us from talking about issues that are very important. And it ends when we do something about it. So my references, and I have to say this is an incomplete list because I could not fit them all on this slide. So that's the reason why I gave you my note card. And then I just wanted to thank you all for coming and listening and letting me share. This woman is actually head of this movement called He for She. And as some of you have said, they are about gender inequity, not just feminism, but also male inequities as well. And so I love this quote that she says, I'm inviting you to step forward, to be seen, and to ask yourself, if not me, who? If not now, when? And then lastly, some discussion points. And I thought these would be really interesting ways to kind of start the discussions. What are some positive ways that we can confront inequity in our everyday lives? And how have you done it? How do we present and talk about controversial issues like race, class, and gender without being shot down or judged against unfair stereotypes? Because I'm willing to tell you that in some cases, if I come out and I tell people, yeah, I'm a post-structuralist feminist, the first thing people start thinking about is what? She hates men, right? And that's not right. So how do we talk about it? How do we talk about race without being called a racist? How do we talk about class and these other things? If we don't talk, there's no way we can understand each other. And then lastly, what do you see? Where do you see this going in the foreseeable future? What do you think our future is going to look like? But again, I think it starts with us. It starts with thinking about how do we take actions for addressing the inequities that we see every day. So all I ask is when we do start talking about these discussion points, please, please, no gender bashing, because that doesn't do anybody any good. It's just not productive. And also, I don't think it's necessary. Hopefully, as I went through my talk, I was able to be respectful. And if I wasn't, please let me know because I'm trying my best to. So anyways, thank you everybody. That's all I have to say. And I open the board and the discussion to everybody here who wants to share their stories. Oh, by the way, if you really liked my talk, please use the tip jar and contribute to a meeting of the minds because they were the ones that let me talk here. Yes, please use Voice Explorer. I think it's all good now.
Thank God.
Thank to keep Haley. Yeah.
Right, and I'm the one who's thanking God, right? Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. That's
It was
religion
a
now.
really good speech. I really
It
enjoyed
is.
it. And
Good
I
job.
I
Yay.
have
Thanks.
a girlfriend who doesn't call herself
I'm
a
agreeably
feminist,
impressed, without question.
but I realized that their daughters don't call themselves feminists.
Right.
And
That's
I
true.
think you let me know
Yeah.
that there was a line of young people who just don't still do it. I kind of just was lazing along thinking everybody was still a feminist, and you like woke me up.
Don't you think that it's also true that it's our mothers that do the most damage to us? That it's not the men? Because our mothers
No.
raise us to be nice
I don't
and be
even
polite
feminist.
and to be
I don't
ladylike.
even think it's
Boston,
genderized. I think it's
marched,
everybody.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends how you were brought up in your home too, though.
right, especially if you're
that's a very
religious,
generalized statement,
you
right?
figure the
Well,
religious people are like less feminist, depending.
That's not true. The Jewish women
depending on the religion.
Okay,
I have a
that's true.
question.
That's
for
better.
Polano,
That's a
if
better
you don't mind.
generalization. Exactly.
Lou, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go for
On
it.
that one slide you had, where the 57% of women have bachelor's degrees. I'm assuming that's America, or is that just worldwide?
Oh, that's
Um,
America. That's America. I
Yeah,
pulled
okay,
those
all right.
right.
statistics from
It's
Now I have
probably,
Confront.
yeah, it's probably not
that wasn't my main question.
Taiwan. Yeah.
My main
Oh,
question here is you said that 1.5% of those women that get bachelor's degrees, you said that they get a field or go into engineering. One of the things
uh-huh.
that I didn't see there is, the percentage of men going into engineering. What is the statistics on that?
It's
Because I don't really have
20%.
anything to. It's 20%. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
let me ask you this: what do you see that as a problem, or like because we could look at this at both ways. We could say that
Mm-hmm.
um, what do women want to do when it comes to their bachelor's degrees? Are we trying to identify something that's not really a problem and we're going against what women would like to choose in their field?
I think the issue that I wanted to bring up with that is I don't want to necessarily say that the problem is that there should be more women in engineering or not. I would say ideally perhaps we should look at the fact that there are certain fields that are genderized. Like for instance, I could say the converse. If you look at vet schools these days, and
Hmm.
I forgive me, Star, because I'm going to pull this out of my butt, but it's only because I can't pull the statistics right now. It's almost like a 1 to 2% enrollment of men to women.
I would
So
say that's close.
yeah. And so, the question there then is, well, what is it that's causing that divide more than anything? And I have to admit I'm a little bit biased, and only because one of the papers that I just turned in was about women in engineering and some of the challenges that they face being a woman in an engineering, an all male program. So, that's why like sexism is a really big thing actually. That's part of the reason why they don't want to join, is because they're sitting
But
there
look
with
what
all these
happened to
men.
med schools. When I
Yeah.
first went to school, all the Jewish boys were doctors. No one ever suggested a Jewish girl being a doctor, ever.
Yeah.
And now look,
True.
now
That's
look at the
true.
graduation rates.
And I think that's it. It's like, I think the conversation starts with, where are these conversations talked about? Who ever tells, a guy that he can be a ballerina, right? And let's put it in that context, right? Whereas, a woman, how often are they told that they can be an engineer? So I think it goes
Hmm.
both ways. In other words, these conversations about what they can be, what they're good at, is sexualized. It's based on gender
I
in
think
some ways.
I think one of the
Go for it.
things also that I've noticed that countries that you're starting to see countries that are abroad, Africa, the Minis, the women
Uh,
are starting to excel, engineering, medicine, science, technology, and that's stifling the men. That's what I'm seeing.